I don't know Lamont Roach, but when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fighters that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come and but don't come and come at me.
Yeah.
Tank Davis is gearing up for his next fight, but not everyone is convinced it will be the easy victory that many expect. This coming Saturday, Tank will step into the ring at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, defending his WBA lightweight world title against ... well, you know who. Most fans and bookmakers see this as another routine night for Davis, an undefeated knockout artist who has dominated every opponent he has faced. But not everyone shares that view.
Sure, soften them up, then fry them.
Shocker Stevenson has made it clear that he doesn't believe Lamont Roach will be an easy target. He expressed the same thoughts last year, and is still sticking to the idea that Roach could cause problems for Tank. I don't think it's going to be an easy night for Tank. Stevenson told Not Just Boxing, Lamont is going to come ready to fight. He wants to win. He's not coming to lay down. So I can see it being a very hard night for Tank. Stevenson isn't just speaking as an outsider. He has first-hand experience with Roach. The two have sparred together, and Roach even played a role in Stevenson's preparation for his fight against Oscar Valdez. I've known Lamont for a very long time, Stevenson continued. He's been in this game for a long time, and he's been waiting for this opportunity. I sparred with him a long time ago and he gave me really good work. After that, I brought him in to help me for my fight with Oscar Valdez. He helped me towards the end of my camp. He's a good fighter.
Lamont, the way that everybody else looks at Lamont, I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
This isn't just about Roach's chances against Davis. It's part of a bigger picture. Stevenson himself is hunting for a fight with Tank, as he's seen as one of the few legitimate challengers to Davis's throne. By building up Roach's credibility, Stevenson is also subtly hinting that Tank is beatable. If Roach can trouble Tank, that strengthens Stevenson's argument that he could do even more. Davis, now 30 years old, with a perfect 30-0 record and 28 knockouts, has already stated that he plans to retire by the end of 2025, but Stevenson doesn't buy it. He's confident their paths will cross. It's going to happen, Stevenson said about a potential showdown. Tank said I was on his list, so hopefully he stands by his words and makes the fight happen.
I was telling Bud, either you or Keyshawn's gonna get tanked, so the walls are closing in, so... Awesome.
It's gonna be him though.
It makes sense, he's closer.
Big brother first.
It's not just Stevenson who thinks Davis might not be as untouchable as people think. Terrence "Bud" Crawford also believes the list of fighters who can actually beat Tank is very short, and in Crawford's eyes, there are only two names that matter: Shocker Stevenson and Keeson Davis. The only guys I see beating Tank are Shocker Stevenson and Keeson Davis, Crawford said. That's a bold statement, but coming from someone like Crawford, who has beaten elite competition across multiple weight classes, it carries weight. Crawford has been watching both Stevenson and Keeson Davis closely, and he believes they have the skill set and IQ needed to break down someone like Tank.
Easy work.
Shakur Stevenson.
Easy work.
Keyshawn Davis.
Super easy work.
Super.
Meanwhile, Lamont Roach isn't just stepping into this fight as another name on Tank's highlight reel. The 29-year-old has been preparing for this moment his entire life. He won his WBA junior lightweight title in November 2023 by defeating Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benavidez's fight against Demetrius Andrade. He made one defense against Fergal McCrow on ProBox TV before landing the biggest opportunity of his career, a fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. But despite all of his accomplishments, Roach has been overlooked in the lead up to this fight. This camp is different because I feel like they're counting me out, Roach admitted. My mindset is to beat his ass.
Win. I think Shakur got better skill, and of course he's just better defensively. I'm always going with the better skill, the better defensive fighter. Tank's skill is phenomenal, but I just feel like he's offense first. I feel like he's offense first, or I feel like Tank.
And Roach isn't just talking. Roach's father and trainer Lamont Roach Sr. has watched Tank rise through the ranks for years. He's seen what Tank can do, but none of that matters now. Roach Jr. has his own plans, and he doesn't care about Davis's star power. To further make his point, Roach posted a confident prediction online. Roses are red, violets are blue, March 1st sounds like and the new. It's a bold claim, and history tells us that fighters who underestimate Tank Davis usually end up on the canvas. But Roach isn't just another opponent coming in for a payday. He's a legitimate champion moving up in weight, and he believes he has the skills to shock the world.
So get ready for two fights, but Yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight.
While all of this unfolds, another top fighter has been paying attention. Teofimo Lopez. Lopez has been looking for his next big fight, but locking down an opponent has been nearly impossible. He was supposed to face Subriel Matias, but after calling him unworthy, he walked away from the negotiations. There are only a few names that can get Lopez excited, and one of them is Gervonta Davis. The two aren't close to finalizing a fight anytime soon, but Lopez has already begun the war of words. It's going to be a great fight, Lopez admitted, but he's never faced a fighter like me. Never at all. Never.
You know what I'm saying? They're about to put him with a guy at 130 pounds. Whether he's a champion or not, getting a guy lighter than you come up and weight to make you look good again.
Lopez has spent 2024 defending his WBO and Ring Magazine 140-pound titles against solid contenders like Jermaine Ortiz and Steve Claggett. Meanwhile, Tank has had a light schedule. His only fight of the year so far was against Frank Martin, a fight that ended with an 8th-round knockout. That's Tank's reputation. He finds his openings, he times his shots, and he knocks you out, Lopez said. But Lopez isn't impressed. He thinks Davis has been carefully matched against fighters who were never on his level to begin with. I think a lot of people just focus on the knockouts that he does, but against who? They're not seasoned fighters.
Yeah, I mean, but again, they pick and choose, so it is what it is. And again, the media like to hate him too, so I'm gonna catch a lot of that backlash too. But I mean, it is what it is. I ain't really studying that too much. I'm not worried about narrative. I'm worried about what I can do in the ring. All right, brother. All right.
That's the biggest question surrounding Gervonta Davis. Has he really been tested, or has he been put in the ring with opponents designed to make him look invincible? March 1st is shaping up to be more than just another title defense for Davis. If he knocks out Roach early, his critics will dismiss it as just another easy fight. But if Roach can actually give him problems, if he can take Tank deep into the later rounds and make things competitive, the narrative surrounding Tank's dominance could start to change. Roach knows the odds are stacked against him, but he doesn't care. He's coming for the upset.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog. And, he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
Sean Porter knows exactly what it takes to survive in boxing's toughest battles. He's been in the ring with some of the best fighters of his era, including Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. He understands what makes a fight truly competitive. When he looks at the upcoming clash between Tank and Lamont Roach on March 1st, he sees something that many fans are overlooking. Most believe Tank will walk through Roach, that this is just another routine title defense, but Porter isn't. So, sure, he believes Roach's familiarity with Tank both from their amateur days and their time spent in training camps together gives him an edge that most challengers don't have.
Hey, can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta.
The fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is goes beyond their amateur bouts. Porter told Fight Hub TV. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal. Whether he's in the ring with him or not, that matters. Boxing is as much about preparation as it is about skill. Many fighters who step in the ring with Tank for the first time are overwhelmed by his explosiveness, his ability to close the distance in an instant, and the sheer force of his punches. It's one thing to watch him fight from the outside, but it's a different experience when he's standing in front of you, feinting, setting traps, and looking to land that fight-ending shot. For most opponents, the first few rounds against Tank are a brutal wake-up call. They realize just how fast he is, how sharp his counters are, and how dangerous he becomes as the fight progresses. But Roach has already seen it. He knows what Tank brings to the table. He's already felt his power in sparring. That's what Porter believes makes this fight more competitive than people expect. This might be a fight until he gets hit again and again, Porter continued. He's tasted that before. So if he gets hit and doesn't go away, we've got a fight on our hands. That's the big question. Can Roach take the power? Nobody has been able to withstand Tank's power in recent years. His last 4 fights have all ended in knockouts, and his most recent victory, a brutal 8th-round stoppage of Frank Martin, proved once again why he's considered one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport. Fighters can try to box with him, they can try to move and stay out of danger, but sooner or later, they get caught. And when Tank lands clean, the fight is usually over. Roach, however, isn't just another opponent. He's a world champion in his own right, and is riding a strong wave of momentum heading into this fight. Since his only career loss in 2019 to Jamal Herring, Roach has won 6 consecutive fights, proving that he belongs at the elite level. His biggest win came last November when he defeated Hector Luis Garcia by split decision to win the WBA junior lightweight title. He then defended that title in June, stopping Fergal McCrow in the 8th round.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling you, saying you going down in a night?
Moving up to lightweight to challenge Tank is a massive step, but Roach isn't intimidated. He knows this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and he's prepared to give everything to pull off the upset. But not everyone is buying into the idea that Roach stands a chance. Conor Benn, one of boxing's most outspoken rising stars, has made it clear that he isn't impressed with this matchup. He believes Tank is avoiding tougher opponents and that this fight is just another way for him to take an easier path instead of facing the best in the division. You know, these other fighters that he should be fighting. He doesn't want those fights. He wants to retire, Ben said. Ben isn't alone in his criticism. Many fans have been frustrated with the way Tank's career has been managed. He's one of the biggest names in boxing, but he has yet to face certain top contenders that people have been calling for. Fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney have all expressed interest in fighting him, yet those matchups remain nothing more than fantasy for now. Instead, Tank has taken fights that, while still competitive, aren't necessarily the ones fans were hoping for. Roach is a talented fighter, but he's not a household name. This fight, while intriguing in some ways, doesn't have the same level of excitement as a matchup with someone like Haney or Stevenson would bring. And then there's the talk of retirement. Davis has stated multiple times that he doesn't plan to fight much longer. He has hinted that he could retire as early as 2025, which has only added to the speculation about his career choices. Some believe he's trying to secure a few more big paydays before walking away from the sport. Others think he's simply controlling the narrative, keeping people guessing about his future plans. Regardless of what happens after this fight, Tank has already made his prediction for Saturday. "I'm going to chop, bob and weave. I'm going to end it in the 9th round," Davis said.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's for wife, and say, "Who do you want next?" And Tank's going to say, "I want all those guys." And they're going to go to the...
He's never lacked confidence, and he doesn't expect this fight to go the distance. Tank has built a reputation for breaking opponents down, round by round, before delivering the finishing blow, whether with a single knockout punch or a relentless barrage of shots. He knows how to close the show. Roach, however, isn't intimidated. He doesn't care about the odds. He doesn't care about being the underdog. All he cares about is winning. "I don't care about being the underdog or being the favorite. Either way, I'm going to win," Roach said. That mindset is what makes Roach such a dangerous opponent. He isn't coming into this fight just to survive. He's coming to win. He knows the challenge ahead of him, but he also knows what he's capable of.
Boxer. For everybody to be talking shit to Gervonta, it don't be coming out good for them, my nigga. I'm keeping it real.
He obviously a superstar, but just because it's who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win. I've been coming to win, and I think the same result will happen on December the 14th.
"I know what I can do, and I know people are doubting me. That just makes me hungrier." Keeson Davis is making it clear that he's not chasing a fight with Gervonta Davis, but he's also not backing down from the idea. He's been vocal about his willingness to fight Tank, but he isn't going to let that fight define his career. Keeson believes he's on his own path to the top and doing just fine without Davis.
I'm gonna beat his ass if y'all talking.
But at the same time, he's throwing down the challenge, questioning whether Tank has the courage to fight him. He doesn't mince words when he says, "_Tank, for real. Tank knows I want to fight him. His coach knows I want to fight him. The boxing world knows I want to fight him. It's a direct call out, and it puts the pressure squarely on Tank. The question Keeson is asking is whether Tank is willing to take the fight, or if he'll continue to avoid him.
World title definitely gonna be next. 2025, we got big plans for everybody in the boxing world. Hey, Gervonta, knock knock.
Keeson's rise in the sport has been fast and impressive. He turned pro in 2021, fought in the Olympics, and now holds the WBO lightweight title. His knockout win over Dennis Pinnick showed the kind of power and skill he brings to the table. He's young, confident, and looking for the biggest challenges. That's why he's questioning Tank's choice of opponents. Keeson points out that Tank hasn't fought a real champion since Jose Pedraza in 2017. That's a long time for someone who is supposed to be one of the best in the division. Keeson even reminds everyone that he fought and stopped Pedraza. The message is clear. If Tank wants to prove he's the best, he needs to fight someone like Keeson, not smaller fighters moving up in weight.
But only person that don't like it is him. He's kind of weird. But now he got no choice but to fight me. The fans want him to fight me. After what I just did tonight against a guy that's bigger than him, come on now. If I touch him, what's gonna happen? Talk about that. Everybody want to talk about Keyshawn.
Tank's upcoming fight against Lamont Roach Jr. is exactly the kind of matchup Keeson is criticizing. Roach is a solid fighter, but he's a 130-pounder who's never fought at 135 pounds. Yet he's stepping up to face one of the hardest punchers in the division. That raises a lot of questions about why Tank isn't facing top lightweights instead. Keeson sees this as another example of Tank avoiding real challenges, and he's not the only one. Fans and analysts have been asking the same thing. Even though Tank is a huge draw and one of the biggest stars in boxing, the demand for him to face top-level competition is growing louder.
Is Keyshawn the one that can crack their Gervonta code?
Gervonta can be beat easily, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, we hear you say he can be beat easily. Why?
Yeah, he can be beat easily because he's just a basic type of dude with a lot of power. If you know boxing like I know boxing.
There's no denying that Tank is a massive ticket seller. His fights sell out arenas and he brings in big pay-per-view numbers. His knockout power and flashy style make him one of the most exciting fighters to watch. But the criticism remains. Is he really fighting the best opponents available? Keeson Davis argues that Tank has been fooling the casual fans for years. He's been fighting names that look good on paper but don't truly challenge him. The fight against Roach might be entertaining, but it doesn't answer the questions about whether Tank is willing to fight the top guys at 135 pounds.
I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fight. What the f*** you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
Eddie Hearn has also weighed in on Tank's choice of opponent, and he understands why people are disappointed. He points out that there weren't many options available for Tank at the moment. Fighters like Shocker Stevenson, Isaac Cruz, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Vasyl Lomachenko were all unavailable for different reasons, leaving Tank with limited choices. But even Hearn acknowledges that Roach isn't the kind of opponent that excites fans. He's a solid fighter, but he's a super featherweight moving up in weight. The perception is that Tank is taking an easy fight instead of challenging himself against the top lightweights. Even though Tank versus Roach might be a mismatch, it could serve as a tune-up for a bigger fight down the line. Some believe Tank might be using this fight to prepare for someone like Shocker Stevenson. Roach has a similar defensive style though. He lacks the power and skill that Shocker possesses. If Tank is serious about fighting the best, the reality is that fans want to see the best fight. The best. Tank Davis is one of the biggest stars in the sport, but his legacy will ultimately be defined by the opponents he faces. If he continues to fight lower-level competitors, doubts about his resume will only grow. Keeson Davis is young, hungry, and calling him out directly such a challenge can't be ignored forever. If Tank wants to silence his critics and prove he's the best, a fight with champions could be the perfect opportunity. What do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more.